In the house where I grew up as a child, I would often have these nightmares where I would wake up and everything seemed normal. I'd head upstairs to get a glass of water or a snack or something, when these blue people would start to come out of the walls and come after me. Only, they'd never come completely out of the wall. Once they made it as far as their torso, their midsection would just keep stretching as long as it took them to catch me, which never took very long. I rarely made it up the stairs, and they'd pull me back into the wall with them, whereupon I would wake up. Once my family moved out of that house, I never once had those dreams again. This is how my neighbor told me I was right all along. I dreamt my neighbor came to my door with his coffee pot. "I thought you were dead," I said. "I am." He looked over to a spot on the floor, then walked away to go downstairs. When I woke up and was eating my breakfast, I saw the coroner's van pull up to my building. My neighbor actually was dead. He'd been dead for 2.5 weeks, barricaded in a storage room. He was only just starting to smell as it was very cool there. He had cut himself with a shard of the coffee pot. The storage room was a direct line through the spot he looked on the floor, 3 stories down. I even mapped the geometry because I thought I was imagining details, but it really was a straight line to his body. My eyes are set at the same height as my neighbor's were, so I think that's the only reason I figured out that line. I dreamt I was in a cemetery by myself and looking around. It was kind of like sunset, and every grave had a flower. I was at my grandpa's grave, and I looked off in the distance, and there was this really scary-looking scarecrow with a basket, picking flowers from random graves and laughing crazily, and saying, "This one's mine, and this one's mine," and hopping around. Then he noticed me, and started to run after me and chase me while laughing. And then the ground started to open up, and I had to jump over these giant cracks. But there was a crack so huge I knew I couldn't jump it. And the scarecrow caught up with me and was like, "You're mine now." And I tried to fight him and take off his head, so I was pulling out all the hay, but it turned into blood in my hands, and I got so scared I woke up. This was the most vivid nightmare I've had in a long time. It gives me chills thinking about it. I dreamt I was in my house. It was very recognizable. It was 3 a.m., in the middle of the night and dead quiet. I kept hearing this knocking coming from the front door. The knocking was loud and very, very ominous. In the dream, it was giving me bad anxiety. The closest thing I can compare it to is the scene in Insidious where their alarm starts messing with them and someone loudly knocks on the door. I decided to go check it out. I slowly walked over to the door, and when I opened it, for just a brief second, I saw nothing outside. The next thing I knew, I felt this invisible force grab my ankle and pull me hard. It pulled me so hard I could feel I was on my back. I woke up sweating. Over the past few years, I've kept having this continuous nightmare. I'll be in this void that's completely dark, but there'll be a second me in the room. The second me will talk to me about my day, mocking me for all the wrong choices I made, and will take me through the parts of my day that it thinks I did wrong, with varying degrees of things being absolutely messed up. Sometimes he'll take me through what could have happened if I had made a different choice. He'll always mock me, trying to make me question my relationships with different people, and saying who can or can't be trusted. Sometimes things will completely snap, and everything is like being part of a Final Destination movie. Watching people I love die, watching my other self killing people. It's terrible. But I can never do anything, only watch. And before I wake up, he'll always smile at me with this dark, twisted smile and say, "See you next time."